Hello listeners, this is Enzo and welcome to another episode of the podcast. And today I want to talk to you about something that's just happened. We just had a pressure clinic at Silverstone within iZone, and that's where we brought 3 groups of 4 drivers, so 12 drivers in total, all going head to head. So we put them on the simulator, we get them to a certain speed, their certain level, and then we put them head to head to see what they're like at performing under pressure. That's where you see what these drivers are made of. Yes, they can do a lap time in testing, but can they do it in qualifying? Can they perform on demand? That is the skill that I'm spending so much time in training drivers in now, because it's one of the most important. There's no point in having this kind of this level that you're at, but then when it comes to crunch time, you can't deliver. What good is that to anybody? And as you know, what I teach goes way beyond what race drivers do. It's a normal life. If you're a salesperson, but when it comes to selling, when it comes to picking up the phone and talking to people, when it comes to you going into that boardroom and closing the deal, if you're a nervous wreck, or if you're public speaking, if you're a nervous wreck and you can't access your subconscious part of the brain, and the prefrontal cortex, the very front, is screwing you up and filtering you with all these different consequences and what happens if you do not deliver this speech, you're going to trip up. It's your responsibility as an individual to make sure that you can access your skills when you need them, but many people can't. And it seems like, I don't think this is true, but it seems like it's getting worse. People are getting softer. When it's time to fight, they flight, they run, or they freeze. They don't do what they should do and stand up and say, this is my level where I'm at now, I'm comfortable with it, and let's just see where we're going to get. Instead, they fear the loss. They fear what it's going to look like. Come on, you know this is a kind of theme that I've been speaking about for so long and so often recently, but it's the one that keeps coming up. If you're serious about making something out of your life, then you need to step up. You need to be able to allow yourself to perform. The reason I keep banging on about this is because this is controllable. This is really something you can take control of and improve. If you find yourself falling over, tripping each time you've got to do something and execute on something, then it's down to you. This is your decision process. You're putting yourself in a certain mindset that's causing you to underperform. I want you to access that. I want you to put yourself into more positions when you need, or environments or situations, should I say, where you need to perform. And I want you to do this on a daily basis. If you're the kind of person that is really struggling with talking to people, guess what? You got to talk to more people. And if you're the kind of person that crumbles under pressure when you're at work because of a certain situation, or you see a certain person like your boss, then talk to your boss more. If you're a race driver and you're in the quali situation, then guess what? You can use a simulator, go head to head against a driver you've got a bit of a chip against, and train yourself to perform on demand there. Even though it's a simulator, it's still training the same part of the brain, so you can do anything. You can play squash against them. Whatever it takes. If you've got a weakness, then you've got to nail that weakness. You've got to do it more often until it becomes a strength, or until it becomes manageable. So really get this through now. If you can't perform on demand, you are not going to make it. So what the hell are you going to do about it? Start to strip away all the reasons that you're putting pressure on yourself. Maybe you think you've got to be perfect. Maybe you're worrying about what others are going to say. Maybe you're worrying about losing. Maybe it's an ego thing. Whatever it is, bring it out. Think about the great times. Now, right, think about the times that you performed at your best. And then when you think of one, and when you think of two, look for the patterns. What were you thinking about? What thoughts were in your head? What were you focusing on? How was your body? How were you holding yourself? That's what you've got to replicate. And on the flip side, look at all the things that all the experiences and the performances that you let yourself down, that you did crack under pressure. Now start to write out what you were thinking about then, what you were focusing on. And you'll see a pattern. The answer is right there. You spend more time doing and creating what you did when you had the great performances, they're going to come along much more. This is all about mindset, creating the mindset that you need when you're going into competition. Now, I want you to put all your effort into this now, because it's going to be the defining thing in your career. Are you going to break, or are you going to stand up and perform as you can? The decision is yours.